Beneath our feet, hidden from plain sight, lies an intricate and complex kingdom. A world teeming with life, purpose, and astonishing social structures. A kingdom ruled by creatures of immense strength and unwavering dedication. Ants. These tiny beings possess capabilities that far exceed their size. Imagine a common black ant, the kind you might see marching across your kitchen floor. Now, envision it suddenly 100 times larger, a truly colossal transformation. It's now the size of a German shepherd, a formidable presence in any environment. Its antennae become massive whips, constantly twitching and sampling the air, sensing the world around it. Its legs are now thick pillars, powerful and sturdy, tipped with razor-sharp claws that grip the earth with unwavering strength. And its head, once a tiny speck, is now a formidable armored capsule, protecting its vital organs and housing its powerful jaws. Most striking of all are its mandibles, now shearing blades of immense size and power, capable of incredible feats, able to cut through wood with ease, slice through metal like butter, even flesh, should the need arise. But let's take it even further. Let's amplify the possibilities. What if this giant ant retained its legendary strength, but now scaled up to match its enormous size? Its muscles and exoskeleton would be supercharged, reinforced beyond imagination, making it a living engine of destruction when threatened, or a powerful force of creation when driven by purpose. No longer a humble insect, easily dismissed and overlooked, it's a biological behemoth, a creature of mythic proportions, nearly a meter tall, several meters long, a true giant in the insect world. Every movement would have profound consequences, shaking the very ground beneath it, on a scale we can barely comprehend, altering the landscape with each step. The rustle of leaves becomes the crashing of branches, a symphony of destruction accompanying its every move. A simple foraging trip transforms into a path of destruction, leaving a lasting impact on the environment. Let's explore what happens. Let's delve into the implications, when nature's tiny marvels are unleashed at monstrous scale, challenging our perceptions and blurring the lines between reality and imagination. Imagine taking an ant, a creature so small yet so strong for its size, and scaling it up, making it 100 times larger. What would happen? This thought experiment leads to two very different possibilities, two distinct paths that diverge dramatically. First, we consider simple enlargement, a straightforward increase in size. In this scenario, the ant becomes absolutely huge, a giant among insects, but the fundamental laws of physics ultimately betray it. The square-cube law dictates that as its size increases, its weight increases at a much faster rate than its strength. Its delicate legs, designed for a creature of minuscule proportions, simply can't bear the immense load, and they snap under the pressure. Its body, no longer supported by its failing limbs, collapses in on itself, a mass of biological material unable to withstand its own weight. And its respiratory system, unable to cope with the increased demand for oxygen, fails, and it suffocates. This version of the giant ant is nothing more than a tragic, inert heap, a testament to the limitations of simple scaling. It serves as a stark lesson in why nature, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't just scale up existing creatures to gargantuan sizes. But what if we were to disregard these natural constraints? What if we break the established rules of biology and physics? Imagine the ant not only becoming bigger, vastly larger than any ant that has ever existed, but also retaining its proportional strength, its ability to lift many times its own weight, now amplified to an unimaginable degree. Its muscles, exoskeleton, and all of its internal systems are not just enlarged, but fundamentally supercharged, enhanced beyond anything biologically plausible. Now it's no longer just a big ant, it's a super ant, an unstoppable force of nature, unburdened by the limitations of biology, a creature of pure, unadulterated power. This is the creature, the super ant, that we'll focus on in our exploration of size and strength, a being whose strength is so immense, so far beyond the natural world, that it borders on the supernatural. One path, the path of simple enlargement, leads to a biological failure, a creature crushed by its own size. The other, the path of supercharging, is a fantasy of unleashed potential, a glimpse into what could be if we ignored the rules. Let's delve deeper and see what happens when the fundamental design of the ant is freed from the constraints of nature, when its potential is truly unleashed. This is the ant, the super ant, that could potentially challenge humanity's long-held place at the very top of the food chain. Let's delve deeper and consider the extraordinary abilities of our proportionally strong giant ant. We're not just talking about a bigger ant, we're talking about a creature with capabilities that defy imagination. A normal ant can lift 20 times its weight. It's a feat of strength that has always fascinated us. Our giant, however, weighing 35 kilograms, presents a whole new scale of power. It could lift 700. Imagine the possibilities. That's about the weight of a small car. It could hoist and carry such objects with ease, a display of raw power that would be truly awe-inspiring. And its speed would be terrifying, scuttling at up to 60 kilometers per hour, a speed that would make it a blur to the human eye. At that speed it could cross a football field in mere seconds. Its mandibles, now massive shears, would become instruments of incredible force. They could slice through fences, wood, anything in their path. Even steel doors wouldn't stand a chance against such power. These jaws would be more effective than any man-made cutting tool, a natural weapon of unparalleled efficiency. Its exoskeleton, scaled up to this size, becomes near impenetrable armor. A natural defense system evolved to withstand immense pressure. Small arms fire might simply bounce off, rendering conventional weaponry ineffective. Its claws would let it climb buildings as easily as a normal ant climbs grass, defying gravity with effortless grace. This combination, this perfect storm of biological engineering, strength, unparalleled strength, speed, blinding speed, weaponry, natural weaponry and armor, impenetrable armor, would make it one of the most formidable creatures ever conceived. A single giant ant would be an apex predator, a force to be reckoned with in any environment. Unstoppable and nearly indestructible, it would represent a paradigm shift in the natural order. Its presence would change the world overnight, reshaping ecosystems and challenging our understanding of life on Earth. Humanity would face a threat unlike any before, a challenge to our dominance and a test of our resilience. The age of the giant ant would begin, ushering in a new era of fear and wonder. The arrival of a giant ant would upend any ecosystem. It would instantly become the apex predator, outclassing wolves, bears, and big cats. Its appetite would be enormous, devouring vast quantities of food daily. Forests would be stripped, fields consumed overnight, and habitats destroyed. Its nest building would move tons of earth, destabilizing landscapes and altering water flow. Rivers could be dammed, hills hollowed out, and the land scarred by its passage. The food web would collapse as the ant outcompeted predators and starved out other species. Biodiversity would plummet, extinction would ripple outward, even the soil would change, reshaped by its excavations and waste. One giant ant would trigger an ecological cascade, unraveling millions of years of balance. The true nightmare is not one giant ant, but a colony. Ants are social. Imagine thousands of these behemoths working together. Their collective power would be extinction level. Armies of giant ants would strip regions bare, consuming all life in their path. Their nest would be a sprawling underground metropolis, undermining cities and reshaping landscapes. Division of labor would make them terrifyingly efficient. Workers foraging, soldiers defending, all coordinated. They could topple skyscrapers, form living bridges, and dismantle any obstacle. Nature couldn't stop them. Humanity would struggle to comprehend, let alone fight, this force. The world would be harvested and reshaped by a single dominant superorganism. The age of mammals would end, the age of giant ants would begin. Giant ants would be humanity's greatest threat. At first we'd send tanks and soldiers, but their armor and strength would make them nearly invincible. As colonies spread, cities would need fortification. Agriculture and transport would be under constant attack. Humanity would become a species under siege, living in fortified islands amid a wilderness ruled by monsters. Our confidence would shatter, fear would become the norm. The psychological impact would be immense. No longer masters but prey. War would be inevitable, with humanity forced to use its most powerful weapons, risking global devastation. The ants would not negotiate or relent. Their only drive: consume, expand, replicate. The battle for survival would be brutal and victory uncertain. The cost of fighting back might be the world itself. The soul of the planet would hang in the balance. Thankfully, very thankfully, giant ants are simply impossible. The square cube law rigorously ensures that as creatures grow larger, their weight rapidly outpaces their strength capabilities. A scaled-up ant would inevitably collapse under the immense pressure of its own mass, quickly unable to breathe or even move at all. Its muscles simply couldn't support it. Its delicate exoskeleton would immediately fail. Ants breathe efficiently through tiny holes. Scaling up, they'd quickly suffocate. Nature's intricate designs are tuned perfectly to scale. The ant's incredible power is directly a result of its small size. The giant ant, therefore, remains firmly in science fiction, bound tightly by the unyielding laws of physics and biology. We can still marvel at their relative strength, knowing it's only ever possible because they are so very tiny. The common ants in our gardens will thankfully remain small titans and never become monsters. The fundamental square-cube law reliably keeps our world safe and secure from such nightmares.